Hey, what's up? How's it going, everybody? I hope all of you are doing well. Happy New Year to everybody. I hope all of you are having a good 2021 so far. Right now it is Sunday, about to be 10:20 a.m. as you can see on the bottom of my screen on the right. It is the 3rd of January. The market opens today in my time at 3 or 3:30, somewhere around there. But let's go over what I think is going to happen this week for a couple of pairs and other currencies. Right now, I'm looking at the Great British Pound by the New Zealand dollar. It's on the daily time frame. The daily time frame is looking a little bit like a little head and shoulders in a way, right? Well, it's kind of stuck between a little consolidation. It broke out right here and it came back up. It could have retested it and it could have continued falling. Instead, it broke back into this consolidation. Now, if you don't know what consolidation is, there's three ways a market moves. It moves either up, it moves down, or it moves to the sideways. It moves to the side. I don't know why I said the sideways, sorry. Up, that's considered an uptrend. That's where you want to be looking for buys. That's considered a bullish market, okay? Now, down, this is a downtrend. It's considered a bearish market and you're only going to be looking for sells, okay? And when it's sideways, you don't necessarily have a bias, really. You know what I mean? You don't know if it's going up or down. It's just going sideways. You know what I mean? So you can't look for buys or sells. You just got to be patient and wait to see what the market tells you. Right now, it's in the range. It was telling us possible selling power, but then it broke back in the range. The bulls were like, nah, fuck that. We still have a chance in this game. And so right here, they're like, they're just kind of playing around. I have a 50 moving average on my screen. If you don't know about it, whenever price is below it, you're looking for sells. Above it, you're looking for buys. And so it's also below it. What I personally want to see, since this kind of looks like a head and shoulders in a way, inverted head and shoulders in a way, I kind of want to see these bulls break this little level right here, also close over this 50 and show a big bullish move for the pullback to retest right here so we could get into a long for some possible big pips. But right now on the 1 hour, if we break it down, if you notice, it was in this downtrending structure, low, low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Then it made like a lower low. Then it made this higher high, higher low. Then it made a lower high, lower low. But then it made a higher high. See, it's kind of just ranging right there. But right here in this range, if we were to draw like this level right here, if I were to take it out right here, you know what I mean? It finally broke above that and it's showing some bull power as we seen on the daily candle. That daily candle are these 1 hour candles just pushing up, right? So personally, what I want to see is a possible pullback down to these previous highs right here just to retest this level, and that will possibly be like possibly, I don't know if price is going to continue going up or what, but it'll possibly be in our golden zone 50 to 61 fib level. So that's a setup I would be looking for, and if it plays out, I'm going to be taking that trade. So I would be taking that trade right here. I would put my stop loss right below the level. And the reason why is because I want to get a good risk to reward on this. I want to be able to drop a nice lot size depending on my reward. Um, and so if it does stop me out and it wants to drop a little lower and possibly retest this level even and then show more bullish power, then that's fine. You know what I mean? I'll take a small loss and then we'll enter right here and then we'll do the same thing, smaller lot size, and then we'll aim for that target for a little bit more and make that back. You know what I mean? But regardless, oops. I'm going to be looking for this setup right here. I'll be placing my stops probably at like a 20 pip stop loss right there. And I'm going to be aiming for this target up here. This is the daily's the daily's previous lower highs and whatnot. So I'm going to be aiming for that because I want to see it get broken. And so that right there will be a nice 1-to-7 risk to reward ratio where I will be gaining 151 pips. There's something covering my one on the screen. Let me take it off. All right, cool. Yeah, possible 150 pips right there. That'll be GBPNZD. Next, let's go over GBPAUD. I love GBP pairs, you guys. Like the pound pairs are really, really nice. So if we start on the daily time frame, Again, it's kind of like in a little rangy situation. It is in a downtrend because as you see, it's placing these lows and then it came up and it's making these lower highs right here, right? But for some reason, it's showing wicks right here. And like it made this lower high, but then this is kind of like a higher low. Then it pushed up and made like a higher high. Then it made like an equal low in a way, you know what I mean? Because if we were to draw like a little support zone right there, I mean, if you can tell, I mean, it's kind of being held, you know what I mean? If we go down to the 1 hour, right here, this was an uptrend, got broken, and now it's in a downtrend, low, high, then it broke and made a lower low. But this previous lower high right here, let me just delete this lower high right here, because it was a low, then it made like a lower high, or you could say equal high. Then it made like this number right here, trend within the overall trend. Then it broke and it made this lower low, right? So these would be the highs that we want to see get broken to the upside if we're looking for buys, you know what I mean? On the daily time frame, it is in a seller's market. But if you notice, this daily candle just closed bullish engulfing, right? And there's a lot of exhaustion right here, you guys. So I'm looking to see a possible bull move coming. Again, this is kind of the same kind of setup as the last one. I want to see it push up a little bit more, possibly pull back to retest this level. And then right here, I'll be getting into a long position, entering right there, stops right below the level. Then I'll be targeting that other daily high. This will be a nice 1 to 6 risk reward ratio. I might even pull my stops a little lower, because who knows, banks will probably try to wick me out. But yeah, I do want to see that happen. We'll see if it happens. If it does stop me out and it wants to go back into this little area and possibly range, I'll just wait for a more clear bias, you know what I mean? But that's what I'm looking for on GBP/AUD. Now, GBP/CHF, I'm just going to knock out all the GBP pairs that I'm looking at this week. You know what I mean? I'm looking at these ones. So on GBP/CHF, if you notice, it's showing like it had these big pushes to these highs right here, and then it kind of just fell, right? And now if you notice, like in these previous days, it's just kind of building back up, like higher highs and higher lows right here, right? So it just made this higher high right here where it closed above this previous high. And so if we look on the 1 hour, you'll see that it is showing bullish structure, right? And so both time frames are agreeing, the daily and the 1 hour. And so right here, it's very possible that this daily high could hold and it can continue up, or it could fall down and it could retest these 1 hour highs right here, because this was a previous 1 hour high or low. It made this equal high in a way, then it made this higher low, then boom, it busted to the upside for new higher highs, right? And so it could hold right here and it could continue to shoot up. If it holds right here and it just shows rejection to this level, I'll look for a buy right there. Boom. I'll put my stops right below the level right there. And then my targets will probably be another daily high. I'll probably end up targeting, let me go ahead and reset this. I'll probably target like this right here, just because I want to be safe. This spot right here. And so that would possibly give me a nice little 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio, where I'm risking 15 to possibly 20 pips. I'll probably just risk 15 pips for a reward of 55, you know what I mean? But if it does break below this level and then it comes to retest these previous 1 hour highs, then I'll look for rejection on this level right here, and then I'll look for it to show me like a reversal candlestick pattern. And then once that happens, I'll enter right there, stops right below the level at 20 pips, and then I'll target that line again. And then that'll be a nice 1 to 4 risk to reward ratio. So we'll just see what happens. We'll see how it plays out, but that's what I'm looking for. And if it plays out the way that I want it to, then we'll go ahead and take advantage. Euro USD right here. This is another crazy pair right here. It's in a big bullish. On the daily time frame, it's very bullish, but it just had this big bearish engulfing candlestick close last week. And so right here, this was my previous higher low. As you can see, it retested the previous highs, what was once resistance, came back and retested as support and took off. This right here was my previous high right there after the higher low that broke right here. And so I drew a level off of this higher low right here. And then because if it breaks right here on the daily time frame, then we're going to be looking for shorts, you know what I mean, long term. But as you can see with this daily candlestick closing below these highs right here, I'm kind of expecting a little bit of shorts coming, because as you can see, I kind of have this little trend line kind of placed right here off of these wicks. This was one touch, this was two touches, and this is a third touch. Then as you can see, this big bearish engulfing candlestick kind of broke it. So these were high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Then it made a higher low. Then it made this lower high, and it just started breaking down and melting. So what I want to look for is a little pullback to the upside right here to retest possibly this level or even one of these lows. If we were to draw like a little fib right here, probably not on that part, but right here on this spot, if we were to draw a fib down to here, um it's possible that it will come back to retest, and it'll probably wick like in this area, and then it'll retest our golden zone, or it could just come up to the 764. Regardless, that'll be a pretty steep pullback, but I'll still be looking to possibly take it because I do expect a pullback because RSI is pretty oversold. I mean, I don't know how long it's going to hold, and it was broken out the bands for a little while, so we'll just see what happens there. And if it does pull back, I'll be looking to short it. I'll be looking to short right around this area here. I'll put my stops like possibly right here at 20 pips. I'll target new lows. Specifically, I'll target this previous daily higher low area, because if it is going to start breaking structures, it's possible that the daily structure is going to break too to the downside. So it's very possible that we could see this happen. And so that'll be a nice 1 to 4 risk reward ratio right there that I'd be taking, and it'd be pretty killer. But personally, you guys, I honestly like to go down to like these smaller time frames and really like to get my risk like as minimal as possible so I can use a better lot size. And so realistically, these will all probably be bigger risk rewards for me. So that's just what I'm looking for. Anyways, NZD CHF is what I'm looking for here. As you can see on the daily time frame, it is bullish. It's making these higher lows, higher high. Then it made these equal lows right here. So it was kind of like ranging, right? Because this was a previous higher low, made this higher high. Instead of like retesting these previous highs and continuing up, it fell back down here. And so it's like a 100% retracement on a fib. And so right here, if you notice, it's kind of making these higher lows, higher high pushes. But right here, as it's getting to these previous highs, as you notice, these candles are getting a little weak. So it's possible that we could see a little wick fill, and it could fill up this wick right here, or it's possible that it could continue down, because as you can see, the 1 hour time frame is already starting to look a little bearish. It's showing this high, higher low, high, higher low, highs, higher low, higher high. Then it made like these equal lows. Then it made this lower high, and now it's falling. So these are the previous higher lows right here. It's looking like it is going to break this structure. If it does break this structure and continue falling, it's also going to break the 50. And like I said, above the 50 is buys, below the 50 is sells. So it's possible that it could continue falling. If it does, I'll probably run a fib from this point, and we'll see where it falls to. It's possible that it'll fall down to this area. We could see a retracement back into this golden area, the 50 to the 618, to retest these previous higher lows that were just broken, and then we could see a free fall down. And then in that case, I'll be looking for a short opportunity right there. This short opportunity will be coming inbound right there, and I'll possibly put my stops right above, possibly like a 5 to 8 pip risk. I'll probably risk 8, and then I'll probably target like either these lows right here for 42 pip gain. That'll be a 1 to 5. But if it continues to show me like some good like pushing, to the downside, of course I'm going to leave some runners and continue to let it go. Now, one tip I do want to give you guys, if you guys have never heard this before, I like to use my Fibonacci tool, and specifically for like take profits and all that, you know what I mean? I don't like to share too much of it because I mean, I don't I don't know. Like it's just kind of like really complicated to understand. But if you do understand Fibonacci, I always recommend that this 236, as soon as you hit 23.6, throw your stops to break even to where you're no longer risking any money like in these markets. You know what I mean? If for whatever reason price wants to spike back, it wants to come down, hit your 236, you put your stops to break even, and then it wants to take you out again, let it. You know what I mean? As long as you don't lose, like you gain like 50 cents or whatever, it's not a loss. You didn't lose. And if it wants to come back and retrace a little deeper, and it wants to give you a little more like rejection along the 764, and then it shows you a reversal candle, take that opportunity again. You know what I mean? Throw your stops right above this part. Remember, only risk 1 or 2% per trade. You know what I mean? Because if it does like wick you out, and then like it shows more rejection, you can get in again, and then you could possibly make back what you just lost with this whole big gain. You know what I mean? This would be amazing. And so I always recommend, as soon as price hits 23.6, throw your stops to break even. As soon as price hits 0 and it closes over it, throw your stop loss, start trailing it, okay? So I would start trailing my stop loss right here, right below the 236 level, right? Just in case price wants to reverse back towards our entry, it'll stop us out in some good profits, you know what I mean? And if it wants to reverse back to our entry, hey, maybe there's a possible opportunity we could take another sell there. But we'll stay patient because it's not doing what we'll want it to do, you know what I mean? And so, like I said, as soon as it hits the 0, move your stops a little under the 236, okay? Or above the 236. So that'll be about like 12 pips profit you would gain if it came back, okay? As soon as price closes below our 25, move your stops right below the 0, right? Start trailing. Just start trailing. If price wants to reverse back right there, you'll be stopped out at around 20 pips, right? You're still winning. That's still a win. That's a dub for you. You know what I mean? That's pretty cherry. That's really, really good in my opinion. And so as soon as it hits 618, me personally, I take my profits. You know what I mean? I take my profits. That's whenever I personally take my profits. Now, another tip that I would like to throw out there too, I don't know why I didn't do it in the beginning. I kind of spaced it. But as soon as it hits your 236, let me just erase all this. As soon as it hits your 236 level, you can either claim partial profits and move your stops to break even and leave a little bit of runners, so that way you already claimed money, you already paid yourself for this opportunity that you did find. So if for whatever reason it does reverse back to your break even area, you still claimed some good money. You know what I mean? You still claimed 13 pips of profit. You know what I mean? Partials. And then the other partials that you left running for more, that got stopped out at break even. So I mean, you didn't really lose, you still won. You know what I mean? That's personally what I do also. As soon as it hits 236, I claim partials and throw my stops to break even. As soon as it hits my 0, I throw my stops a little below 236. I start trailing. As soon as it hits 0.25, I throw my stops a little above 0. As soon as it hits 618, I take my profits, okay? Simple, 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 simple. Very, very beautiful. Now let's move on. US30. That was just a little tips that I like to leave for y'all. US30 currently, if you notice right here in these structures, it's showing like a reversal chart pattern, and this is a bearish rising wedge. This is showing like higher highs, higher lows, you know what I mean? Now, if we look this up just to show you guys reversal chart patterns, if we look this up, watch. Let's go to images. See, it's this rising wedge, right? High, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. We look right here, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? Now it's breaking out of it right here. So if we look at the 1 hour right here, it's breaking out of it. But if you notice in the past, like right here, there's these previous highs in the past where price is at, and it's leaving wicks behind. You know what I mean? It's leaving wicks. It did just have this big bull push, so it's showing like a higher high compared to these ones, but realistically it's an equal high. You know what I mean? Because this was the previous higher high, these are higher lows. These are the higher lows for the overall trend, okay? So higher low now is pushing to make a higher high, but it has to break this high in order to keep going up and hold bullish structure, right? But right here it's showing a little bit of a weakish kind of feel in my opinion. And so it's possible that it could continue up. We'll just have to see what the market does. But after a big push, what happens after a push? A pullback, right? And so right here, it's very possible that it could pull back. If it pull backs and retests this structure, it could retest this daily top of the wedge. It could come back and retest it, and it could possibly hold. If it holds and it shows bulls, then we could possibly look to buy. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, patterns don't always add up. You know what I mean? Patterns don't always happen. We could see head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders. We could see double tops, double bottoms, and they don't always play out, you guys. They don't. Realistically, they don't. We just have to go with what the market structure is telling us. You know what I mean? And currently, market structure is telling me that there's a possible pullback to happen. And if it does pull back to this spot right here, the top of the wedge, and it retested and shows bullish power, me personally, I'm going to take that position, and I'll probably put my stops right below. And then we could target these highs right here, and it'd be like a nice 1 to 2.5. Now on US30, that's a beautiful fucking trade. That's fucking nice. I'm not even gonna lie. But on US30, personally, I'm gonna be dropping down to like the 5 minute and shit, and I'm gonna be waiting for like the 5 minute candles to show me something, so then I could possibly get in even closer, and I'll like enter like bot, and then I'll throw my stop like right here, right below those candles, and then I'll target that shit, and then it'll be like a little better. It'll be a 1 to 9 risk to reward. That's way fucking better. You know what I mean, in my opinion. But that's something that I would be looking for on US30. So I'm expecting a pullback, possible shorts. If it does fall back into this little wedge, it'll retest, possibly. Retests don't always happen whenever they do break nice structures, okay? It'll break this little line, not structures, I apologize, like trend lines and like zones and all that, okay? Once it breaks this little line, it's possible that it'll retest the line, you have a little lower high, and then fall, and then it'll break our higher low structures on the 1 hour. If it does that, it's possible that it could also break our wedge, right? If it breaks our wedge, it's possible that it'll come back to this spot right here, specifically retest our previous higher lows that are broken, and it'll also retest our bottom of the wedge and then free fall right there. Now, if that happens, I will be looking to short that. Boom. And I'll be putting my stops right there, and shit, I'm gonna be targeting like probably these lows right here, because as you can see, these are like very equal lows right here. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? And that right there would be a nice fucking 1 to 16 risk to reward ratio. Holy shit. That would be beautiful. I want that to happen personally, because that would be a better setup. Just because there's a lot more evidence for sells, in my opinion, besides market structure. You know what I mean? But that's just my opinion right now. Again, I'm gonna just see what the market says and trade what you see, not what you think. You know what I mean? I think this is gonna happen, but I'm gonna trade what I see, and let's see what happens. You know what I mean? Now, gold. Real quick on gold, I know this video is a little long, y'all. I appreciate y'all if y'all stuck around. I'm dropping some pretty nice gems for y'all. Again, all I'm trading is like break and retest and market structure, y'all. Market structure is king. I'm not even lying to y'all. Now, I don't have a course or anything. If y'all personally want to learn from me, I do like have a mentorship. I do charge for it. You can hit me up for it. With that mentorship, you're going to get weekly one-on-one sessions with me where I'm going to teach you my full in-depth strategy of everything I use and how I find some pretty nasty trades. And then not only that, but you're also going to be getting added into our team group where you can also ask questions of our group members. You can also show off your profits. You can show off setups. You can show us what you see and we'll tell you what we see. And you know what I mean? We can all work together in that chat as well. It's pretty solid. I'm also going to show you like my settings, how I use everything, risk management, like the whole nine, you know what I mean? How to do everything. If you're a beginner, I mean, I can help you out, transform you into a pretty good trader. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a pretty good trader in my opinion. I'm not gonna be cocky. I'm in the most humblest opinion possible. I feel like I'm a pretty good trader from all the like losses I've taken. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I've blown tons of accounts. I've blown so much money. I still lose money to this day, but every trader loses money. You know what I mean? Not every opportunity you see is gonna play out. You know what I mean? And so that's why you gotta make sure you're using risk management in order to control those opportunities because you can't control the market, but you can't control how much you lose or win. You know what I mean? And so that I can teach you as well. I can teach you the whole nine, to be honest, but I mean, I do charge for it. I'm not gonna lie because it is a lot of my time that I would be, you know what I mean, kind of investing into you. So I would appreciate the investment into myself. You know what I mean? And so that's the only reason why I charge. But I'm gonna be dropping a lot of videos on YouTube of these specific kind of videos, like weekly analysis of what I want to see play out in the charts and everything for the week coming up. And you guys can learn from that as well. You guys, it's going to be some nice free content, and y'all can just kind of put two and two together and kind of understand my strategy because my strategy is fairly simple. I don't like to overcomplicate my trading because whenever I have, I've lost. And so, yeah, you guys, right here on gold, I'm gonna go ahead and do gold and Bitcoin, and then we'll sum up this video. We'll wrap it up, and then I'll see you guys in the next one. All right. In gold, as you can see, it was showing like bearish structures. We were selling the hell out of this, and now it's kind of breaking above that 50. Remember I told you above the 50 you're buying, below the 50 you're selling. It's breaking above the 50 and it's showing me higher low, higher high, higher low, and it's breaking these previous highs on the daily, right? And showing a little bit of a higher high. If we drop down to the 1 hour, it did do that. As you can see on the 1 hour time frame, these previous structures that showed higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, now showing another higher low, higher high. It's possible that it can continue up just to give a little bit more of a push for steeper retracement, or it could pull back again to this red line and show a higher low, possibly to this previous highs right here or something, and then like continue up. But we'll just have to see. What I personally want to see is a more clear like uptrend, because if we're drawing like Fibonacci from like these previous lows to this high and we draw it out right here, I mean shit, these ones right here, this is all considered like trend within the overall trend. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, they closed above, so if I were to like drag and bag, let's just delete that one and draw new, like right here, wick to wick, because these candles closed above this candle, they're technically considered higher highs. This blue candle specifically, because this purple one came down right here and then this one right here. So then if we were to draw this right here, see, because then it just gets sloppy, you know what I mean? And so that's why personally I want to look for a more clear push to the upside. I want to see it break higher than these highs right here, and then I'll run a fib from like this low right here up to the push, and I want to see it retrace back into like a 51,618 like this. Beautiful, just like this. I want to see it push, pull back, boom, and then take off. That's what I want to see gold do. Okay, it's personally what I want to see gold do. Now Bitcoin is looking good. Bitcoin's looking nice. I took my profits on Bitcoin. I really only, I don't like to trade Bitcoin personally. I just like to like throw money in and hold it, you know what I mean? But I like to watch Bitcoin to see when I should take that money out and wait for a pullback and then throw it back in, you know what I mean? And so I took my money out right here just because it's in this big bull market. I can't even show you the daily because the daily is kind of hard to like fucking map out, you know what I mean? So I like to go on the 1 hour. And like I love the 1 hour, you guys. Daily and 1 hour are my fucking bitches, and I'm not even gonna lie. I hope my girlfriend don't see that, you know. Just kidding. And so, anyways, it showed this higher low, then it showed these higher highs, higher lows, showed these higher highs, and boom, higher high, higher low, higher high. It's very possible that it's pulling back for another higher low. If we were to run a fib from this push, the beginning of this push, to this wick right there, as you can see, it's already in that area and it's wicking our golden zone. It's very possible that we could get in for an opportunity right here. I'm gonna look because we see this boom, boom, low on the 5 minute. On the 1 minute, it's already showing me bullish. I'm gonna run a fib from here. 1 minute, beautiful. Okay. What I'm gonna look for, I'm gonna wait to see what happens on this. Bitcoin looks like it's probably gonna continue its big bull run. I want to see it break above this 1 hour high right here. I want to see it do that on the 1 minute. It looks like it's probably going to. I'll run a fib from there, from the origin of the push to where it's going to stop. I want to see it pull back, and then I'll be looking for a buy. And then we'll just see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'll throw some in and we'll see what happens, you know what I mean? But y'all will see what happens. I'm going to be dropping this video today before the foreign exchange markets open. And so thank you guys if you guys made it to the end. If you liked this video, if you learned something new, please drop a like down below. It's going to help out my channel a lot. I'm going to be growing this channel. It's going to be dedicated specifically to Forex. So if you're not subscribed, you enjoy Forex, or you're ready to learn Forex, go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell. I'm going to be dropping a lot of good videos, weekly analysis videos like this, specifically on Sundays, sometimes Saturday nights. We'll just see what happens. But again, if you guys like it, make sure you guys go show the love and support. Follow me on my Instagram at RoseTradesFX. That's going to be able to help you out too. I post like analysis. I'm going to be posting a little bit of things on there as well. And yeah, you guys hit me up if you want my mentorship. You know what I mean? I can teach you a lot of what I know. I have a lot of knowledge. I gained a lot of knowledge, so that way I went through all the losing, so that way you guys don't have to. I'm not even going to lie. And so yeah, you guys, this is going to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. All right, later.